Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh. Hold up, stand back, yeah. I just beat you trying to steal my swag, yeah. I just beat that got this hit mad, yeah. Money on my mind, I'm trying to get it, yeah. Drop 300.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. The action tonight will be happening out in Dallas, where the Mavericks will be going up against the Detroit Pistons. And guys, for the Pistons, they went 2-0 against this team last season, looking to continue that string of victories tonight. And tonight, two top-tier centers going toe-to-toe.
Top-tier centers going toe-to-toe.
It's the Mavericks in Dallas, Texas for a little interconference action here at the American Airlines Center. And before we...
Well, guys, Stan Van Gundy was the head coach.
And DA, it's obvious that Stan has a real love for the game. Here's hoping he turns that storied franchise around. Well, the NBA has some great advanced scouts who know how to help a team prepare for an opponent. When you play, Chris, what kind of information would you be given with a team that was coming up in the schedule or the game that night that was important for you?
Well, wow, my rookie year, I remember the first time I got a scouting, the playoff scouting report, and I had to understand how many times the player I was playing against would shoot over his right shoulder as opposed to his left shoulder, and the percentage of the times he liked it on the left box as opposed to the right box, and really just knowing the guys and understanding their habits. And so you really need that. It gives you confidence because, as I said, you can't check one player. It's just so hard to do. So what do you have to do? You have to check their tendencies. So maybe you can beat him to the spot that he likes before he can, because if he gets there, he's just going to destroy you. Scouting reports are everything to understand your opponent and your opposing team.
Did you keep, Chris, a mental notebook, or would you have a notebook that you would write in to keep track of these players, the guys you would face?
I had a mental notebook. The teams would give us physical notebooks, but I would just kind of read them and make my mental notes. You get to see guys so often that if you don't kind of understand who a player is that night before you play him, it might be too late.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. And Detroit, looking at who they've got. They've got Jameer Nelson. John Lewis out there with Griffin. Then there's Reggie Bullock. And it's Kennard in at the shooting guard. Right side, Griffin. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. One of the most impressive things about Blake Griffin is Greg when he gets out and runs the open floor.
Yeah, not to mention his ability to run the break himself. A terrific ball handler, even under pressure, and one of the best passers at the 4 in the league, if not the best. Nice way to start the evening. His numbers getting called, and for good reason.
Well, yeah, he's a guy who can carry you for stretches, long stretches in this game. You want to get him involved early and often.
And early on, they've been nearly perfect from the floor. Just the one miss here on their first 5 attempts.
Nelson kicks to Griffin. Lure the screen. Passes it to Kennard. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
They're 1 of 4 here to start, looking to get into a flow offensively.
King, that's good.
Well, no matter what, he's always going to be one of the most dangerous men on the court.
Nelson against Rose. Down low, here's Lure.
That makes them 1 for 5 from the field so far. They need to start getting some better looks.
Pistons trail by 8. To the middle. Looking to end the run, and it's King with the rebound. Jams it right over John Lure. Wow!
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
Yeah, you got to love it. Everything's working. Offense, defense, already a big lead.
And that was Under Armour bringing you that replay. Unleash chaos. And what a play it was. There's the screen. Lure the screen. Just 5 to shoot. Stolen away. Pass to King. Shoots the 3. The putback. And it's Lure with the rebound. The Pistons have gotten only 1 of 6 shots to drop for them to start this game. Poke loose. Stolen by Rose. Prez pass. Oh!
Come on. Did you see that? Did you see that? And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. Yeah, you see it now on the scoreboard.
Yeah, particularly on offense, where they've been completely in sync. Terrific first quarter.
Start it.
And now the first timeout called here for Detroit. Last game matched up with the Magic. A tough loss there.
I mean, frustrating when missed free throws become contagious. Really the Achilles heel in that one.
Yeah, sad when you're aggressive enough to draw the fouls, but just not enough touch to cash in at the line.
Nelson outside. Just 5 on the clock. To stop the drought. Gets the 3-pointer.
Wow.
Nelson's got it back down to single digits for Detroit.
And that's the shot Nelson's always relied on, and it served him well. He works nonstop on the perimeter, finding the space he needs to get good looks from beyond. Well executed, great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Yeah, coming off of a good pick, you want to get that when he gets the separation he needs. I know he would love to have that one back.
Lure the screen. Here's Kennard. Loses the defender with the screen and drills the jumper. Kennard's got his second bucket. Dishes to Prez. Back to King. And the layup's good off the glass.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Picked by Griffin. This one for 3. That one doesn't go. Now the Mavericks take it the other way. They come into this having outplayed Phoenix the last game.
And once they established that flow offensively, really never got any resistance from the D.
And I feel like the defense was one step behind all night. I mean, they never made the adjustments to string together a few stops.
Mavericks leading by 9. Here's King. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. King's got 17 now.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
Here's Lure, and it's King with the rebound. King's got his 5th rebound in this one. And it's good. That bucket takes him to 9 for 14.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
And you so often hear about how much Detroit Pistons fans pride themselves on the defense of this team. It's a part of the franchise's identity. All the fans in Detroit definitely love their defense.
Lure the screen. From the line, that one wide left.
And on the glass so far, it hadn't even been close.
Here's King. Pass to Prez. The kick out to King. Got a piece of it. Fast break, here they come. Shots good by Kennard. He has 6.
He's giving them a nice lift this quarter. The shots are falling for him.
And only a handful of teams have a franchise identity like that with the Pistons in defense. Maybe the Lakers playing up-tempo or Memphis grinding it out.
Well, yeah, not many teams or franchises have an identity, and that's what makes it so special to play in Detroit for that reason. There's nothing like hearing the crowd get hyped for a defensive stop.
Detroit making a switch here. Tolliver's checked in. Here's King. Cans the shot with nobody near him. King's got 21 in the game.
Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
And you see he's not worried about what's on the scoreboard. He just wants to go ham each possession.
We take a second here to take a look at the shot chart for the Mavericks.
And when you come into a game with the mindset of going right at the rim and not...
Wow.
Oh, my word. I shouldn't be amazed anymore when Griffin pulls off a dunk like that, but I always seem to be. The man has some unreal moves above the rim. In this first period, they've been aggressive and extremely focused.
Well, that's put them up by double digits, trying to run away with this one wire to wire.
And Nelson gets it to go.
I don't know if that was by design or by accident, but the D not paying any attention to him.
Now here's Prez, defended by Griffin, and the foul called on Blake Griffin. That's his first foul.
Oh, man, it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Now the pass to King.
Wow. He leaped into the lane as soon as that ball was thrown and came up with the steal. Excellent work on D there.
Bullock dishes to Nelson. Prez brings the double team. For three, Mavericks with the rebound. This game against Detroit here, it's their first meeting of the season.
And in their 2 matchups last season, they came up empty both times. Not really too shocking when you see how they fared overall.
Tipped away. Kick out to King. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That one on Nelson. Well, there have been a lot of great young big men come into the league over the last couple of years. Chris, do you think the post position is about to make a comeback in the league right now?
I think it definitely could make a comeback because of the players that we've seen enter into this game, like Cat and Davis and Embiid. But I also think that, the game has grown because we've had to see players like Larry Bird on the post extend his game to three-point area. We got to see Akeem Olajuwon get the first big crossover. So I don't know if the game will ever be the same with traditional posts. But I do know the game is in good hands with guys that have great skill sets, and so the big man is definitely back.
4 on the clock. Rose passes to King, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D.
Great D, Las
These players have excelled at setting up their teammates this month. The 2K leaderboard shows us the recent assist leaders. Well, you look at Prez, an uncommonly gifted passer, leading the league in assists.
Really been in sync with his teteammates over that period. I mean, his passing has been phenomenal.
Nelson kicks to Griffin. Over Collins. Griffin's shot is off. Dallas leading by 9. Here's King. Picks it up with both hands and rips it down.
Yeah, pounding it inside once again. They have taken over this game physically.
Right off the opening tip, they've been relentless. And this style of play can be hard to come back against.
Here's Griffin. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Just a tremendous talent when healthy. That's the key for Griffin, trying to avoid a big injury that takes up a chunk of his season.
Dallas has gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. That's tipped, and Prez with a clear path to the hoop.
Agile play to get his hand in there and get the steal. Intelligent play to immediately start the break.
1:31 left in the first quarter of the game. Galloway dishes to Tolliver. There's a screen. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
Yeah, how about the strength and focus there of Griffin? Absorbs the hit and still finishes.
That one goes. Count it.
This is an amazing run he's on. It's like he's been the only guy on the floor this quarter.
Griffin sets the screen for Nelson. Bullock passes to Griffin. It's tipped. And now here comes Collins leading the break. Here's King, an easy 2 points on the layup. King's got 35.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Kicks to Galloway.
Nelson.
To the paint, Tolliver. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist.
Oh, that's a nice look, recognizing he had the opening to make the entry pass.
Here's Prez, and finish off by Prez.
Great effort on the boards, and what a meme that was, Kev. I mean, you just will not see him ever.
That guy is a handful. You've got to have a body on him, Clark, at all times.
And how relentless is this guy? If you're the defense, he's the first one you're looking to block out there.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And Detroit gets called for the foul. The Mavericks shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
With 1 on the clock, he gets it in there. Bullock.
Wow!
And a double-digit lead on the scoreboard as we end the first quarter of play. Mavericks lead by 13. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. Well, we know what Derrick Rose has been through. The injuries.
I got a clear mind when I play. I can't think about.
Well, and Rose says no pressure, but I have to feel like there's at least a little bit, guys, of pressure to get back to where he was.
Yeah, I mean, league MVP in 11, once considered a cornerstone for the NBA's youth movement. What we find out now after dealing with the adversity is, does he have the heart and drive?
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And quite a position here for the Mavericks to be in. What do you think, guys?
I mean, a huge lead, and already after this first quarter, they're starting to make it look easy.
I love it. They have their track shoes on. Right off the tip, they were in full attack mode. This offense is really churning.
Prez out there with Collins. Then it's Rose, then it's King, and it's Zagorac at the 2-guard position. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas.
Yeah.
Well, this is a different ball game without a score. He's been Mr. Reliable at the offensive end.
Galloway kicks to
What the fuck?
Here is Tolliver. He's guarded by Collins. 6 to shoot. Johnson, that's for 2. Prez with the rebound. Prez has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Well, many had high hopes for what Stanley Johnson could be in the NBA, but after a rough season, questions have been raised. C-Webb, the former 9th overall pick, the player of the year.
Goodness. Wow. And that was the play to make. Rose making the right read.
Pistons trail by 16. They set the pick. Johnson dishes to Galloway. Johnson kicks to Galloway. Now here's Johnson. 9-point game his last outing. And Johnson missing again.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
King with the steal. Now the fast break. King with the ball. Oh! And that one is stuffed right through.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Now here's Prez. Guarded closely. King's shot is off. Pistons trail by 18 to end the drought. It's rebounded by Prez.
Oh, it's a confidence shaker when you can't hit a wide open 3 like that.
The basket counts and 1. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a 3-point play.
Shooting 1.
And Chris, the team you spent the most.
Wow.
Most time with in your career, the Sacramento Kings. What was it like playing in a smaller market? And do you think that's changed for star players today?
You know, I love playing for the city of Sacramento and the fans. Because we were a small market, I think we had some of the most passionate fans that I've ever seen in the NBA. But it was also tough, especially playing on the West Coast. You're the second or the late game on the East Coast. Many people don't see you. You don't have necessarily the support of everyone else because you're not in the largest city. So it definitely could be tough. But when you're playing a team like the Lakers or you're playing other Goliaths, you love it and you embrace that small David type aspect. And so I do think it's changed because of social media. I do think it's changed because of the internet and specifically the apps that you can now go into the locker room before and after the game. You can get a guy's thoughts right after he made a big shot or missed a big shot. And so I think if you would have had those tools, maybe it'll be different. But I think now definitely it really doesn't matter what market you play in. I mean, we were a small market at that time, but look, since it's been the OKCs and other teams that kind of have made everybody excited about basketball. So I don't think market plays that big of a part as far as your exposure and how much fans get to see you anymore.
Good overview. Tipped away. King with the steal. And now the fast break. Prez with the ball. And King, here we go. And the shot goes down. King's got 50 points.
A pretty simple solution to ending this run. It would just be getting back and actually playing some defense.
Moreland passes to Johnson. Ennis in the corner. That one falls coming off Johnson's feed.
Look at the playmaking ability of Johnson. Just such a gifted passer.
Rose dishes to Prez. The kick out to King. Fires for three. It gets rebounded by Ennis.
No three-pointers for him in the second quarter yet, but he did have one in the first.
Tolliver the pass to Ennis. He dishes it to Galloway. Off the screen. It's rebounded by Dallas. Prez has got his 8th rebound here tonight. Up again, controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Galloway kicks to Ennis. Feeds to Johnson. 6 to shoot. The dish to Galloway. And another three for Detroit.
Yeah, and that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems to be slacking off a little bit.
To the middle. Here's Prez. Rose passes to King. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. King's got 52 points.
Look, he's driven him to this lead, and it doesn't look like he's going to ease up until the final whistle.
Galloway kicks to Ennis. He feeds it to Tolliver. Another three for Detroit.
The defense a step slow, and you can see the results.
The kick out to King. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Oh, that's an old-fashioned rim wrapper.
Just a remarkable gem. These fans' jaws are on the ground right now. There's the feed to Tolliver. They set the screen. He kicks it to Ennis. King against Johnson. Nice fake there to create the shot, but it's no good. And King, here we go.
And offensively, they've done a great job here of staying in rhythm.
Yeah, of the two teams, they're taking the more makeable shots. Let's see if they can sustain it throughout the game.
Galloway kicks to Johnson. Again, Johnson missing.
Not a very consistent quarter for him in terms of the shooting.
King, that's good.
Man, he takes it to the rack, but then just smoothly flows it in with the finger roll.
Detroit's gone 7-15 from three-point range tonight. They're not afraid of that shot. Passes it to Ennis. There's the pick. Pass to Johnson. From deep. It's rebounded by Dallas. Prez has got double-digit rebounds now in the game. It's stolen by Ennis. That's tipped. It's going to be over back. Watching for the line that time. Now let's take a look at how the shots have been divided up between three-point shots and two-point shots for Detroit. Here's Prez. They lead by 24, their biggest margin.
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Oh, that's why you see them flexing a little bit. They're feeling good about how they've dominated.
Here is Tolliver. He's guarded by Collins. Count that bucket. Kennard's got 8 points.
Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the rim.
Ouch.
Here's Galloway. He's covered by Rose. Kennard, the pass to Tolliver. Nailed from three-point land. He's got 8. And Stan Van Gundy, known for being one of the more demanding coaches when it comes to defense. He doesn't care who you are. If you're not giving it your all on the defensive end, you're going to find yourself on the bench.
Well, he's clear with what he wants and what he expects, and, you know, when you step on the floor.
This is to Galloway. Out of bounds. Dallas takes possession. Let's quickly now take a peek at the league leaders in blocks. While you look at the great, a fierce inside defender. Tops in the NBA in blocks.
What an intimidator he is in the paint. I mean, he's shot to the top of that leaderboard, and nobody feels comfortable putting a shot up around him right now.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Lewis checked in for Tolliver, and Jameer Nelson is subbed in for Langston Galloway. Nelson kicks to Griffin. Lure the screen. Collins grabs the miss. Collins has got his 4th rebound in this one. And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A 3-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
The Mavericks haven't yet missed a free throw. 5 for 5. Well, we always hear about how some guys are locker room leaders or a veteran presence on a team. Chris, how quickly does someone establish themselves as a team leader? It's universally embraced by the rest of the team.
It's tough. You know, some guys can come in and do it day one, but I think that we've seen a lot of leaders grow, whether it was a great leader like a 2-time MVP in Nash. It took some years first for him to understand himself and then kind of let his leadership just follow that on the court. We bring that to today with a guy like a John Wall. It's taken him about 4 or 5 years to really learn to be around veterans, but guys are coming in younger now, and so I think that it's going to take a little bit of time to develop, but as long as they're continuing to learn, as long as they're continuing to put the effort out, because you're a leader first by what you do, not by what you say, and so if you are trying to figure your way out and work hard, you're being a leader, people are figuring it out. It's usually when does the vocal part come in along with kind of leading by an example, and so I think for every person it's different, but it's a lot of fun watching because when they get to that point, you've definitely seen some development and growth from them mentally and physically when you know they've taken over the reins like a guy like John Wall has.
Good insight.
黐住4個射手，加埋哇，屌5個射手原來係。
Shot clock. Here's Griffin, and count it, and a chance for one more at the free throw line.
It was all about his athleticism when Griffin first came into the league, but it didn't take long to see he was about a lot more than that. He's got serious skills down low.
And it's Rose penetrating, pass to Prez. King outside, picked away.
Back it up, back it up.
Inside, it's stolen by Rose. One-on-one here. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
So many fast breaks now ending the three-point shot. Good to see them taking it to the rack.
純射手嚟嘅呢位，唔好睇小佢啊！
And so it's Dallas, riding high with a 23-point lead heading into the break. They've got a big advantage in the turnover stats because of their intense defense.
Oh my God!
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Okay.
Thanks, Kevin. Coach, how would you evaluate your team's performance?
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away after the break. We'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Dallas has the edge here at halftime. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny, some perspective, please.
Well, it comes down to confidence. From the opening tip, These guys had that swag. They had the attitude that you can't beat us, we could only beat ourselves.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on Detroit?
Ernie, I don't use this word a lot because, one, I can't spell it, but it was definitely a subpar effort for them on the glass. That hurt. If they're serious about cutting into this deficit, it's gut check time. Ugh. You hear that, Ernie? I'm hitting my gut. Ugh. You got to check your gut, Ernie. Ugh. Gut check time, Ernie.
哇，5成命中率好撚高啊，大佬。
And that wraps up half.
好，防守之下有5成命中率，真係第一隊喎呢隊。
Cars crossing back and forth over the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge as we welcome you back to Dallas. Mavericks leading by 23, checking out the group for Stan Van Gundy to start the second half. Nelson is out there with Kennard. Then there's Griffin. Then it's John Lure. And it's Bullock in at the 3 spot.
Wow.
Well, I tell you what, his coach keeps drawing up plays for him. He keeps delivering.
Now the Pistons with it. Next up for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. Nelson dishes to Griffin. King with the steal. And here we go, Mavericks running again.
Whoa. The solo alley-oop? That's not something we see too often.
Timed perfectly. Caught the defense totally off guard. And the replay presented by Under Armour. Unleash chaos, giving us the chance to enjoy that alley-oop all over again. Lure the screen. Nelson kicks to Lure. The pass to Kennard. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Bullock. Offline with his 3.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
Yeah, because you're spread out. It could be difficult to contest these shots, but not for him.
And how about the excellent court vision, just keeping the defense off balance?
Well, if you're his teammate, you love this right now because all you have to do is focus on finishing.
Outside Griffin. And it's out of bounds, and they say last touch by Griffin. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east already. We are in December. You look at Cleveland. Quite a season they've assembled here, guys. Perched up there in first place and playing terrific basketball game in and game out. And, of course, the Pistons just way behind.
And checking out Detroit, they haven't made any of the strides they were hoping to see prior to the season. Again, hanging around at the bottom of the standings.
This is just not a team that is positioned to be very good at all. Now, look, the players are doing their best out there, but they simply just don't have the right mix of players nor the execution to get it done yet.
For Dallas, they have been at their finest form at the free throw line tonight. 8 attempts, 8 makes.
Griffin 都想埋。
Nelson with it.
咁樣呢隊瞓咗啦。
Lure sets the pick for Nelson. Passes to Kennard. Lure the screen. Just 5 to shoot. To halt the run, Kennard's shot is off. The Mavericks have gone 4 for 4 from the field since the halftime break. Terrific start to the third quarter.
And everything they're attempting is going in. Tremendous run here in the third.
Well, I don't know what they talked about at halftime, but they found a weakness in the defense.
Lure a screen on Rose. Now Lure. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Here's Nelson. No good off the front iron.
Third straight miss to start the half, but it's still early. No need to.
Wow!
By Rose.
And beginning to pull away. Really effective play calling halfway through this one.
Well, they figured out what's working, and that's what they're going to keep hammering on.
Kennard, the pass to Lure. Here's Kennard. He's guarded by Collins. Pistons passing it around. In the corner, it's Nelson. Over Rose. Nelson with another miss.
Look, it would be a huge boost for them if he could start knocking these down.
And that monster lead continues to grow.
Well,
give the coach a little credit. It's been some great play calling. Each guy doing his part. This is what you're hoping to achieve.
Kicks it to Bullock.
睇下邊個翻嚟先㗎咯 ，Denzel Jordan 同埋 Blake Griffin。
Pass to Kennard. And the shot falls short this time.
And they've just tried everything to stem the tide here, but nothing seems to work.
Yeah, trying to recapture momentum when the tide's running against you, very difficult to do. What do the young kids say today? Ride that wave.
King from beyond the arc and then some.
First three of the half, second of the game. Can he heat up?
Detroit's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Shot to stop the drought. It's deflected. Prez passes to King. Yep, that one goes in there. King's got 16 points here in the second half.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Lure the screen. He dishes it to Nelson. It's blocked.
Wow!
And that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession.
Oh my god.
Detroit making a switch. Johnson's checked in.
Nelson.
Three-pointer, Nelson. That one falls coming off Johnson's feed. And it's 9 points for Jameer Nelson.
He is a dangerous outside shooter, and if you leave him open, he can bury them consistently.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. The 2K leaderboard is on the screen now to reveal the dominant scores in the NBA over the last month. While you look at the great, leading the league in points per game, such a great player. And, of course, Prez, right ahead of him, another guy that's having a great scoring season.
What a threat both of these guys have proven to be, especially over this stretch. Scoring machines.
Just 5 to shoot. And it's Bullock missing.
Look, that's what they want. The ball is in his hands in the post. Just didn't have the touch that time.
Wow. Here to check out some numbers for Prez. The last 10 or so games, he has been remarkable. First in rebounding, first in assists, and he's first in the league in steals per game. Just an incredibly aggressive and tenacious defender.
And just going back real quick to the fact that he's tops in the league in rebounds, what a tremendous feat. What a monster he is in the paint.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
Galloway kicks to Johnson. Back to Galloway. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, Langston Galloway, the undrafted guard out of St. Joseph. Now, look, he flew under the radar on draft day, but has proven that he could be a rotation player in the NBA. Just a natural scorer at the point guard position.
And with Galloway, he can run an offense, but his main draw is his shooting and his ability, Chris, to create scoring chances. Very hard to contain at times.
And you like having that scoring punch he brings off the bench. Decent shooter from deep who can stretch a defense. Not really an efficient scorer, but he looks to act as a catalyst.
Dallas shooting just phenomenal here tonight. 73% from the field. Pulls from the top of the key, and that one off the back of the rim and in.
And he's starting to show that killer instinct this quarter, looking to extend
They set the pick. Johnson outside. Galloway kicks to Johnson. Fires the 3. That shot off the mark. Now Dallas takes it the other way. Bang! That's good.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Lure the screen. Johnson, a wide open look. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist. Galloway has got his 4th assist in this one. King.
Wow.
But they recover it. Here's Prez, and he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time, the whistle blowing. And Detroit gets called for the foul. This is his first trip to the line tonight.
Gotta admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season. How about over 90%?
Detroit's gone 2 of 5 with the three-point shot since coming out of the break. Johnson with a screen on Rose. King with the steal. And here's the break. Stolen away. Attempt there. King with the steal. Now the fast break. King with the ball.
Rising and punching it. That was an angry finish.
He wanted that dunk to stand out for sure. And, well, Detroit shooting about 42% so far. Galloway kicks to Johnson. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen. And a glimpse here at the locations on the floor where they've been shooting the ball from.
You know, I doubt they came into this game thinking they would be doing this much damage from mid-range, but you have to give them credit for being able to see what is available in their offense and then exploit the weakness of the D. To be successful in this league, you have to be flexible, and they've done a great job of that so far. And when the score is as lopsided as it is, and you can see they smell blood in the water, my man is going for the jugular.
Lets it go from 14.
It's clear this just isn't his night. I mean, if they're going to keep him on the floor, I think his best role would be to be a decoy.
And here are the Pistons now. Bullock dishes to Galloway. There's the pick. Feeds it to Bullock. Shot clock at 5. Shoots over King. Detroit, no good that time either. Dallas has gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Here's Rose. At the elbow, Prez. Back to King. Down low. Here's Prez. He's got 12. Second chance shot. King, that's good.
This score will be very different without his offense. He's been terrific.
Time now for an injury report. Now for an update on his injury. Let's go to David Aldridge.
Catch up with the Pistons' head athletic trainer. It's not what anyone wanted to hear, as it sounds like it's a severe injury. He'll be sidelined for the rest of this game, and it doesn't look like he'll be back on the court anytime soon. Very bad news. Kevin?
All right, David, thanks for checking in and letting us know how he's doing.
And let's just hope that he doesn't have any setbacks during his recovery.
Fingers crossed, and hopefully it's nothing but good news from now on when David gives us updates on him.
James Ennis, he'll check in for Reggie Bullock. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Back to Johnson.
Nice ball
movement by Detroit. Galloway kicks to Johnson. Shoots over King. King with the block. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Dallas has gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. And taken away by Johnson. Tipped away. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pistons will retain possession. 1:36 left in the third. Galloway kicks to Tolliver. Back to Galloway. Clock at 4.
And they've fallen completely out of sync here offensively. I'm not seeing nearly the same movement or flow that we saw in that first half. Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
And the foul on Derrick Rose. That's foul number 2 for him. Kennard, he's checked in for the Pistons. It's stolen by Prez.
And how sweet a play was that?
As sweet as it gets, an exquisite pass to set up the powerful alley-oop dunk. Lure a screen on Rose. Here's Galloway. No good, and they can't put an end to this drought. Here's King. The three-pointer is right on target.
He is taking smart shots out there and knocking them down. Outstanding work from the three-point line so far.
Lure a screen on Rose. There's the dish to Tolliver. Pass to Kennard. Shot clock at 5. Here's Galloway. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own. Galloway has got 10.
Okay, we got a nice little back and forth going here.
And I love it, Greg. Both sides inflicting damage from the perimeter. We'll see how the defenses adjust, though.
His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score.
And so it's Dallas, holding an unbelievable lead as the quarter wraps up. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. We'll return shortly. Let's listen in now to head coach Stan Van Gundy from a few moments ago.
Just relax and play the game. Relax and play the game.
And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. They've got Collins. He's out there with Prez. King is out there with Rose. And it's Zagorat's in at the 2 guard. That's the lineup out there for the Mavericks. Felder kicks to Ennis. There's the pick. That's tipped. It's stolen by Prez. And here we go. The Mavericks on a fast break. Prez leading the charge. It's good on the putback.
Just giving up way too many transition opportunities.
The Pistons shooting 38% from the field. A pretty weak showing for them. Now here's Ennis. He's guarded closely. Ellenson kicks to Felder. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Kennard. It's rebounded by Prez. Prez has got rebound number 19 now. Incredible board work.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
A little over a minute of the fourth quarter gone right now. Here's Felder. He's covered by Rose.
Triple machine.
Puts it up from 12. It's not going to go for him. The Mavericks have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Collins kicks to Prez. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
And the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
I like the way he's settled down here. I mean, after the sloppy first half, he's done a much better job taking care of the ball.
Back to King. It's stolen by Ennis. Here's Felder. He's covered by Rose. They set the screen. Here's Ellenson. It's good from the top of the key. Dallas has gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. Collins. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Oh, big time put back there. What a great motor on this guy.
There is no one who goes after those rebounds harder. Here's Felder. He's covered by Rose. And the pass to Kennard. 5 to shoot. Shot from the top of the key. Doesn't get it to drop for him. For Dallas, they've gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the fourth. A pretty nice efficiency there.
No hesitation. When he saw the space the D was giving him, that's 2.
Here's Felder. Passes to Kennard. Moreland dishes to Ellenson. Buries it from about 10 feet away. Ellenson's got 4 this quarter.
Tremendous execution. Getting the shot they want.
Oh, my goodness. Fella's going to hurt somebody with a dunk like that. Probably will hurt himself.
Oh, there's too much fun to be had.
What the fuck?
Well, unless you're the defense there, that's getting shown up in a big way.
Here's Kennard. Connects from three-point range.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on him.
The 17-footer. Dallas moving it around.
Why?
Ennis kicks to Ellenson. And the game is a passion, as we know, Chris, but does it help to have outside interests? You're passionate about art. You make music. You're a writer. You're a thinker. Talk what all of that is about and what that means to you.
Well, I think being a complete person helps whatever job that you're doing. You know, we all are more than our job. But basketball, you have to put everything into it. And so sometimes to rejuvenate yourself, you need to get fed other places and kind of feed your passions. And so I think a lot of times when players feed their passions, it's really just to have enough energy to complete their goal of getting through a grueling 82-game season with all the ups and downs, the expectations, the heartbreak, the celebrations. And so I think for myself and for many other successful players that I've seen, those that have tried to approach life with the same way that they approach basketball, that's just living with passion, try to learn as much as you can, enjoy every moment. Usually to me, they are the most successful because it takes pressure off of playing the game.
Well said. And for the Mavericks, clearly the rebuild, Greg, has begun.
Yeah, but they made good use of their picks. They brought in more youth and signed their building blocks. Franchise isn't used to rebuilding, but they are approaching it, I think, the right way.
Stanley Johnson, he's checked in for the Pistons.
And textbook. I mean, that move to the lane, you got to tip your hat on that one.
Well said, Greg. And Clark with some major elevation on the slam. The NBA coaching ranks always looked at and scrutinized. Only 30 great jobs out there in the league, and yet they're on the firing line, it seems like, every season. Chris, what enables head coaches, in your opinion, to be successful? And has that changed over the years?
Well, I think what allows you to be successful, first of all, what is your acumen for the game? Can you communicate? Can you inspire players? Are you a humble guy? And, you know, I think those are the main things that you have to, you know, have as a coach. But look, players get traded all the time. Everybody's under pressure. So, you know, just got to do your best and keep it moving.
And out of bounds, the Pistons will take it. Jameer Nelson's checked in for K. Felder. The Pistons have gotten only 3 of their 9 field goal attempts to go down since the end of the third. Pretty cold down the stretch. Rose against Nelson. Ennis passes to Nelson. Poked away. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. And here is Prez. Got it. Good job in the low post. Prez has got 18 points just in the second half.
He hasn't missed so far this quarter, and you can see why. His form is perfect, and he's taking high percentage shots.
Johnson draws the double. 6 on the shot clock. Ellenson with a screen for Nelson. Launches it. And the call will go against the great. That's foul number 2 for him.
Wow. That's right.
Johnson against King. Johnson attacking. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And one thing this Pistons team has done well the last few years is control the glass. Helps when you have a star like Drummond. But everyone on this team does rebound and box out.
Well, they have to. This team hasn't had really good shooters in a while, so it's so important to this team because this is what they're trying to do. They stumble a lot on the offensive end, and so how do you help offense? How do you hide those ugly numbers? You hit the boards.
He feeds it to Nelson. Chris, as we all know, you grew up in the Detroit area. It's a town that has seen glory days and hard times. Talk about what it means to you to come from Detroit and what you see in the future for the Motor City.
Well, it means everything to me to be a Detroiter. I think that's what made me successful in my career, is that I took on the heart of the city and the fact that it's a hard-hat town, a blue-collar town, and you have to earn your keep and you have to wish positive for the future. And so it's been great coming from there, and it's hard times being from there. You know that we're resilient, and so it's great to see positive energy enter back into the city. It's great to see the Pistons play in the city for the first time in over 20 years, and so I see the future is bright for Detroit because Detroiters are always there, and as long as we have the people, everything else will be great.
You and I broadcast the last game in the Palace, and I'm wondering what you think the impact will be with the Pistons, as you just talked about, in their brand new building.
I think the impact would be great, but for fans. You know, when I was younger, I wanted to see the city. I wanted to see our team play, and I only lived a few miles from downtown, but about 30 or 40 miles from the Palace. And so I'm happy that the kids that supported the team, that dreams about being a Piston one day, I'm glad they finally get to go to a game. I'm glad that Detroit finally gets to really call the Pistons their own. What is it going to do? It's going to infuse positivity, and so hopefully for everyone, it's a positive environment.
Here's King, misses the three.
Well, that's the shot they're looking for. A clean three-pointer, just can't get it to go.
And the call will go against the great. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. Going back to your playing days, Chris, you were drafted by the Magic but traded on draft day to the Golden State Warriors. If you had suited up for the Magic alongside Shaquille O'Neal, that would have been something.
Oh yeah, I would have tried to. You know, I think I would have been the first Westbrook. That was my goal. If I was playing with Big Shaq, just do your job, and I would have averaged a triple-double easily. I would have averaged a triple-double when you look at Dennis Scott. That would have been on the corner, Big Shaq up top, and that pick and roll right there. You're going to have to guard me or him, and I didn't mind throwing it up to a big fella. I love seeing people dunk from alley-oop, so that would have been fun. I would have tried to have Shaq break a backboard every single night. But hey, you can't go back in time, man.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making that is not possible. What we just is that possible?
I think it is, Greg. Not probable, but like possible, like you said. Nelson outside. Rose with the double team. Here's Moreland. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Yeah, easy call.
And he makes the first. And the Pistons making a change here. Galloway's checked in. He's perfect from the line this time. Dallas shooting has been just uncontainable, 72%.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Mavericks.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And so checking out their record tonight, that'll mark win number 32 overall.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for the great.
Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised.
And we've seen a few players come into the NBA through different paths, either playing overseas for a year or spending time in the D-League, now known as the G-League. Chris, do you think that these alternative paths to the NBA will ever be as common as the standard collegiate path to the NBA?
Well, I think it can be, only because there's such an international presence in the game, and that now you're starting to find players all over. And the great thing about the NBA is it doesn't matter where you come from. It just matters what type of skill set that you have. So I can see it being other paths to the NBA, but the NCAA is always going to be one, in the fact that guys want to play for their state teams, and that's always going to be fun to watch. But thank God for basketball fans and athletes, there's a lot of paths to the NBA, which is the ultimate if you want to play basketball.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all you. Get in there.
And, well, Detroit shooting a lackluster 38% for the game, struggling so far. Nelson kicks to Galloway. Back to Nelson. Again, the miss by the Pistons. King, that's good.
And how much longer are they going to keep that foot on the accelerator?
At this point, it's just icing on the cake. Terrific run, closes it out.
That's tipped. To the inside. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
Well, the defense had nothing to do with that turnover. They're just fortunate. That's just plain sloppy passing.
32 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. To the left wing. The shot by Ennis. Nobody around. No good from outside. These guys have had some good motion on offense. Nice statistic.
And when everyone's involved offensively, it has a way of helping you on the defensive side as well.
I'll tell you what, the energy in this arena, you can feel it.
Well, a well-earned victory, feeding off the energy of this hometown crowd really all night.
So no problem for Dallas as they get the win, and the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Chris Webber, this is Kevin Harlan, thanking you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports.
Thank you. Thank you.